Hello, can everyone hear me? Am I live? Hear me? Okay. Am I live? Let me turn down. Hear me? Okay. Am I live? Let me turn down. Hear me? Okay. Hi, everybody. Let me turn down. Hear me? Okay. Hi, everybody. Let me turn down. Can y'all hear me now? Hi, everyone. Sorry about that. I had my YouTube up at the same time and it was playing a back play. So we definitely don't want that. How is everyone doing? Happy Saturday. Hopefully the volume isn't too loud. Let me know if it's too loud or too low so I can see. Do you like my Poindexter here? I'm trying to practice on how to share my screen. So I was trying to figure out how to do that. Hi, Carol. Nice to see you. Hi, Tune, The News, Neekins. Volume is good. Thank you, Lizzie. By the way, I want to have a special shout out to Lizzie B. She is my moderator for the evening. Thank you so kindly for volunteering. Hello, Nicolata. 1:30 in the morning in Scotland. Thank you so much for joining on a Saturday evening. Let's see here. We have a lot of fun stuff. Angela, hello from Las Vegas. Raven, thank you for joining. We have Koala Palouse. Good afternoon for you. Joneses, good afternoon, good evening. Jennifer, thank you for joining. Hello, Pamela. Nice to see y'all in here. Old Fashioned Dreams, hello and welcome. Nice to see y'all. I just felt like doing a little bit of a live today. Didn't have time to do a video, but I thought, yeah, we'll just get in here and do a little chat. So if y'all watched my last video, we talked about the movie Fatal Attraction. Now, if y'all are not aware, I love to watch older movies from like the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s. And I have to say, Fatal Attraction has got to be one of the best movies out there. I Will Not Be Ignored, Dan. I love that part of the movie. And in my opinion, that just embodies Meghan Markle with the Bunny Boiler moment for sure. I was talking to quite of y'all in the comments, and you guys really like that movie as well. And the reason why we started talking about this movie was when Netflix released Meghan's upcoming trailer, her new sneak peek, someone in the comments had said they felt like they were Michael Douglas in the movie Fatal Attraction and that we all need to quick check on the bunny population because Meghan Markle definitely is a bunny boiler. But it just had me thinking about this movie, Fatal Attraction. I love this movie. One of the best movies out there. And I have to say, I actually, again, I'm aging myself. I was a teenager, very, very young teenager. I went to the movie. Yeah, this was a groundbreaking movie for the time. And in my opinion, it scared a lot of men straight to not want to cheat on their wives. And this actually coined the phrase fatal attraction because at the time, people, I guess, didn't have a name for it. And it kind of coined the phrase fatal attraction. But I had two movie recommendations for y'all if you guys like movies like The Fatal Attraction. And if you like to watch older movies like from the 80s, 90s, whatever, both of these are actually starring Gwyneth Paltrow. So one of them is called Hush, and that is with the lovely Jessica Lange. One of the best movies. I actually just watched this last weekend where Gwyneth Paltrow gets married to some rich guy and his mother is Jessica Lange and she plays the mother-in-law from hell. Wonderful movie. Highly, highly recommend it. And another movie, I thought I had a picture, but apparently I don't have the PDF. It's called A Perfect Murder, Gwyneth Paltrow and Michael Douglas. That is such a good movie. It was in the late 90s, and I think it was a remake of the classic film Dial M for Murder. Very similar in the plot scheme, and of course, Michael Douglas. I mean, chef's kiss. But these are some excellent movies. So if you're looking for some movies that you would like to go watch, Tubi, Tubi has a lot of free older movies, and I watched The Perfect Murder and Hush on Tubi. So you can go and check those out for sure. I don't know if Fatal Attraction is on there or not. Star Child says that movie traumatized me as a teen. Exactly. I remember for Fatal Attraction, the part where they had stabbed Glenn Close and then she popped up. I jumped out of my seat and it was a packed theater. I remember that totally. Um, right. Okay. Let's see here. Um, they don't make movies like that anymore. I agree. I think they really, a lot of times the movies nowadays, they focus on AI and CGI too much. Oh, someone said, someone to watch over me. I have heard of that movie. I can't remember who starred in that, but that sounds like a really good movie. Hush, I've never seen it. I recommend it, Lizzie. It's good. It's really, really good. Hi, baby grandma. Glad you can make the live. MK Sal says the entire theater jumped. Yeah, I think that's when they kind of started to definitely get into the jump scares. The 80s and the 90s really is where they started to get into that. And then it became a little overplayed, but it was definitely good. Um, let's see here. Carol says, Dial M for Murder, fantastic. Yes, with Grace Kelly, the original American Royal. Yeah, I loved that movie. And of course, Grace Kelly. And of course, Ava Gardner. She was the first American to actually marry into royalty. And I was hoping to do a video on Ava Gardner on my other channel. And that's hopefully coming up one of these days. I just don't ever have time to do it. But she was definitely one of the first Americans to marry into royalty. And then, of course, the lovely Grace Kelly. Yes, Tubi is awesome for old movies. I actually watched Wait Until Dark with, oh gosh, Audrey Hepburn on Tubi. I had never seen the full movie. And I have to tell y'all, I was so frustrated because no one ever locked the darn door. It's like, the guys are outside, lock the darn door and call the cops. But nobody thought to do that. That movie frustrated me, but it was still a good movie. It was a classic. Let's see. Good movie is Bone Collector with Angelina Jolie and Denzel Washington. Anything that Denzel Washington is in, 99% of the time is a good movie. And yeah, I think it's an older movie, but I never watched it. So, Carol, I might add that to my list of movies to watch. Yes, Rita Hayworth married the Aga Khan. Yes, and I actually read when I was younger, not only was I obsessed with royalty, but I was obsessed with old Hollywood. And I used to go to the library and I would check out autobiographies by all of the beautiful actresses from the golden age. We're talking Ava Gardner, Rita Hayworth, Lana Turner. That was a very interesting story, let me tell you. Betty Grable, Zsa Gabor, very fascinating women. But I did read the life story from Rita Hayworth, and she had a very interesting life, very sad, tragic end, but beautiful woman. And yeah, that marriage to Aga Khan was not a good one. That is for sure. Let's see. Lisbeth said, yes, Fatal Attraction was the movie who started it to be impossible to kill the villain. They kind of jumped the shark there. Yes, definitely for sure. And she says, "Heck, I even love watching the old Western movies on Tubi." Yeah, I used to love the show, Bonanza. Do y'all remember that? Back in the day, is it Bonanza? Bonanza, I used to like watching that. Oh, yes, "Play Misty for Me." I ended up watching that, I think, about 2 years ago with Clint Eastwood. That was a really good movie. That was a very good movie, and it didn't have Donna Mills in there from Knots Landing. Such a good movie. And Clint Eastwood, y'all, he's like 95, 96. And speaking of old actors, what in the world is going on with Gene Hackman? Y'all, this is crazy. So we won't get into it too deep, but this whole thing with Gene Hackman and his wife, it's so bizarre. I can't wrap my head around what the heck's going on with that, but it's very, very sad. He also, I think, was 95. So I do find that very, very interesting. Um, Mimi Rogers and Tom Berenger is someone to watch over me. Okay, okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to have to add that to my list. Yeah, there's a weird investigation. So when I first heard about the whole Gene Hackman thing, I thought, okay, gas leak, right? No, it's not. I That whole thing is just bizarre. Yeah, really weird, and Gene Hackman was one of your favorites. Yeah, he really is one of the legendary actors of his time. I think he retired quite a while ago, and they kinda lived a quiet life, so it's just really weird how that happened, and then Michelle Trachtenberg also loved her in Gossip Girl. It's just so sad. Yeah, it's very shocking about, Hugh Jackman for sure. Very, very bizarre. Very bizarre. Um, Lana Turner was in a relationship with a gangster and she unalived him. Yes. But the rumor is it was her daughter, Cheryl, who you know, unalived him because she was protecting the mother. That was the trial that they had, that she was definitely doing that. So very interesting stuff. Yes, Rita Hayworth definitely did have a very interesting and very sad life, unfortunately. Okay, Carol says Charade, the best Hitchcock movie. He did not make a starring Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn. Oh, he did. Okay, I'm sorry. The best Hitchcock movie he ever did, starring Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn. I don't think I ever saw Charade. I used to watch quite a bit of Alfred Hitchcock. I think he used to have a TV show in the 90s that we would watch, those little mysteries. And Rear Window was one of my favorites. Love that movie. I'll have to check out Charade. That is for sure. But anyways, I thought I would share with you some movie recommendations. I used to do that in my videos, and so I thought I would share that with y'all. Oh, okay. So that's the rumor. Interesting. I remember on trial when I read her book, I think they did paint it that it was the daughter in the book. Now it was her autobiography, so maybe she was just letting her daughter go down with the ship, but they basically painted it as self-defense. But yeah, definitely could be. That is for sure. Nicoletta says, I love Marnie, Sean Connery, Tippi Hedren. I actually just watched, probably about a year ago, I watched Tippi Hedren and the Birds on Tubi. That is such a great resource, y'all, for older movies. Tubi. And the Roku movie channel sometimes has some really good ones. But yeah, I love Tippi Hedren. She's the mother of Melody Griffith. That was a good movie, The Birds. Kind of strange, a little strange. So, what do y'all think about the release of Meghan's trailer? The sneak peek. Is it wetting your whistle and making y'all want to go and watch it? Oh my goodness. I don't think she's posted anything since the upcoming sneak peek to her Instagram. I haven't seen her post anything in a little while. It's definitely getting to be the final countdown. And I think she's trying really, really hard to make it look like she's a fun, nice person. It was weird, the dancing, right? Don't you think that dancing was a little awkward? It's a little weird. Koala says, "Oh my god, I rolled so hard. It was a bizarre song. The song choice was weird, and she looked like Poindexter in those pants, in her grandpappy's pants. It was awkward. Just, I really don't think the people who edited her Netflix show liked her. Remember she fired the first group of editors for Netflix. Um, But again, it's like they just didn't make her look good, and I love the fact that we got some mass slips going on there in that Netflix, trailer. I was like, "Wow, okay." Hats off to the people at Netflix. They kept that sucker in. But I'm honestly beginning to believe that that was the best they had. We're talking about the trailer, which is supposed to make people excited and go over and watch the show. And that was it. Did y'all saw that nasty stank face that she made to, what is his name? Roy Choi? I thought she was so rude. So rude. Um, Carol says, Megan does not dress according to her body. Yeah, it's bizarre because she's a nice height. She's very trim. But those pants, I think she's a little boxy. I don't understand the baggy pants. Those pants really would not look good on a lot of people, to be completely honest. The pleats in the front always make you look a little bigger. Hello, Margaret. Nice to see you too. Star Child Jess says she's weirdly childish. Everything's a joke. She doesn't take anything seriously. Another reason why she didn't fit in, not everything's a 10-bit comedy act. You are absolutely correct, but you know what's hysterical? She has no sense of humor. So she tries to make these little jokes and trying to make these jokes, but she's not funny. She's like fake funny, like a narcissist, pretending, oh, look at me, I'm going to make this joke and I'm so funny. But when you look at her, she's very, was it vapid or vapid? Like nothing going on, no soul behind the eyes. And you could see that when she was making a couple of those stank eye faces at the chef when he talked about the music that he liked. I don't know how to turn this around. Sorry, guys. I For some reason I kept making the PDF on this way. So, but she was making these weird like stank faces, and it was like, wow. I don't think she realized that it was captured, right? The fakeness of her face. And then she tried to act like, oh yeah, we're fine, we're multifaceted. But it was so obvious that she's just fake, just very fake. South Park was brilliant and spot on. They were. Now I heard a rumor. I don't know if it's true that South Park might be doing another one. Oh God, I wish they would. I bet you they're the one about the Harkles was probably one of their highest rated episodes. I would absolutely love to see that again. Hello, Maxine from the UK. That's right. MMC says you can't hide fake from the camera. It shows everything. Exactly. Like when you see her around kids, it's very forced and it doesn't look natural at all. Um, Margaret says she's feeling sad tonight. I'm so sorry, Margaret, that you're feeling sad. But we're very happy that you're here. So hopefully we can all send you some positive hugs, virtual hugs to Margaret, positive cheer, and we're very, very happy that you're here. So hopefully things will get better. Starchild says that her stylist hates her. Yeah, I would say so. Definitely. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, it's awkward. Lots of stuff going on. So that trailer, the comment section of that trailer was a classic. And if you watched my previous video, you'll see some of the comments that we had in there. You guys were just hysterical. The fact that they're keeping it on, I mean, that is a definite way to test if something is going to be a hit, is let the public out. So it is going to be very interesting, guys. It's coming up on Tuesday. Now, tomorrow is March 2nd, and that is the Oscars. So there's a rumor that Meghan and Harry could possibly make an appearance at the Oscars. Now, I kind of don't think so. But then again, Meghan is very, very desperate because she has a show to promote. And I don't think she was that desperate before. Now, we all know that Meghan and Harry don't do any work. They don't do any advertising. So she could definitely be very, very desperate to make an appearance. I can't imagine them presenting an award. I really don't think that's going to happen. Perhaps an after party. We all know that they're besties with Elton John, and he has one of the biggest Hollywood Oscar parties every single year. And they've had a standing invite, but they've never gone, which I find bizarre. You know, they moved here to be the movers and the shakers of Hollywood, to be these producers, directors, you know, working on that film, Meet Me at the Lake, but they don't do any networking events. And in Hollywood, it's about networking who you know. My people will contact your people. They don't do any of that. I think they just kind of stay off by themselves and just think because they're royalty or associated with royalty, everyone's going to come to them. And 5 years out, they're like ostracized from Hollywood. So for her just to show up at the Oscars now, 2 days before her cooking show drops, I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. Do you think they're going to make an Oscar appearance? Pinky's Tea Party says, and the bees. How many bees died to make this? Oh, I don't think any bees died. They're not her bees, and I don't think she really even touched the bees, hopefully. But yeah, again, everything with her is kind of fake. They could be seat fillers. That's true. You know, a long time ago, I wanted to be a seat filler back in the day when I was into Hollywood. Koala says, maybe Nutmeg thinks because of this Netflix show, she is a star. Well, I think she thinks she's a star anyway. Yeah. Oh, Angela 11 said the bees were killed. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Maxine B believes that she's going to make an appearance. Yeah, I don't think the Oscars really are that big. I couldn't even tell you who's hosting it. I couldn't tell you what movies are nominated. I did enjoy Wicked. That was an excellent movie. I don't even know if that's nominated. So maybe I'll kind of tune in to see if they make an appearance. But yeah, everything with them is just really weird. Now, someone did tell me, one of my followers told me that they were over on Pinterest and they kept getting this pop-up ad for Meghan's Netflix show. So they are running advertisements, apparently, over on social media, maybe Facebook, but for sure over on Pinterest. So I feel like they're doing the final countdown. The last couple of days, they're really trying to push advertisements. But interestingly, it didn't look like they really changed the trailer. They just kind of added some more clips. So that was it. Are we going to get another drop maybe tomorrow? maybe Monday, to entice us. But from what I've heard from behind the scenes, it's not good. It's not good. They cut like almost 20 plus minutes of footage, and that the test audiences were cringing. There's a lot of fake acting. It's more of a lifestyle than a cooking show. And there were some weird scenes with her and Mindy Kaling driving around in a driving around in a Jeep, going to the beach. And it didn't do well. So in my opinion, she really did copy Pamela Anderson a lot, because Pamela Anderson does a lot of, gardening and lifestyle there on her property in Vancouver. And I think now they're renovating a house with their kids. So it's just weird. I feel like she really did steal quite a bit from Pamela. Yeah. So it's going to be very interesting to see Meghan just trying to be a California girl, living her California dream. Very weird indeed. Jessup says best actor goes to Harry and One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo Nest. Absolutely. Michelle B says nothing could make me watch that show. Yeah, I'm going to take it for the team, so y'all don't have to. We'll do the heavy lifting for you. I'm not looking forward to it. I couldn't get through Polo. I got through one episode of Polo, and it was so boring. I didn't even get to the one where Meghan showed up and pretended to speak Spanish. I didn't even care about that. I was like, honestly, it's not even worth it. Koala says, I saw Pamela's cooking show trailer, and she has been vegan for 30 years. And I also saw a snippet of her garden renovations, and it's a family project. That is one thing I have to say about Pamela Anderson. Whether you like her or not, she really is, at least she's authentic, right? This is her lifestyle. It's at her property with her children, cooking foods that she actually eats. And I believe she has a cookbook, and the cookbook looked really good. So this is a woman who has taken off the makeup. And if you've noticed, Meghan Markle now doesn't wear makeup for her social media posts. Like, she's trying to be real and authentic, just like Pam. Just saying. So now we have Pam, who took out her fillers. She doesn't wear makeup. She's got her hair up in a clip, wearing little overalls in her kitchen, sharing real recipes that she actually eats. That's authentic. Martha Stewart, whether you like the woman or not, she's real. She's at her own home cooking stuff that she eats with her own garden, her own plants. Like, you believe Martha because Martha walks the walk and she eats and, drinks that lifestyle. Meghan Markle. Okay. Do we believe anything in her rented kitchen where she's not even actually cooking anything that she does? Like, she's learning from a friend, but it's not like she's going to go home and say, okay, guys, I'm going to start cooking like this now. I don't think that woman cooks anything. I don't think she cleans any of her bathroom toilets, right? She's not domesticated. We don't even know she's with her kids. Let's be real. So with Meghan, everything is so fake. Full hair and makeup in a rented kitchen, dancing around, picking flowers for what? Your rented kitchen? It doesn't make any sense to me at all. Carol says, yes, Giada de los Vicentes cooks with her daughter and family. Absolutely. I'm sorry, Lizzie, I was trying to get on your comment. There you go. Martha gets up at 5 a.m. in the morning and is all day between meetings. She said that on her documentary. Yes, I watched the Martha Stewart documentary, and that is very fascinating. If you want to watch a really interesting documentary, watch the Martha Stewart. She was one of the first women to become a billionaire, a self-made billionaire. That woman, she really did build an empire. And she was, living that as a caterer for years before she got her show and wrote books. Meghan Markle, like she did the TIG for a couple of years. She was on Suits for a couple of years, was a royal for 18 months, and now we don't even know what she does in Montecito. It's like she doesn't really stick to anything. And I wouldn't call her an expert, and she's like, jam is what I do. Since when? Since last year when you announced you were making jam? That's when we found out about your jam, and you didn't even do the 50 jars. We didn't even see the 50 jars that you sent out. Like, we all supposed to know now that's her jam? Really? Because I didn't know she did jam. Martha's a boss, went to prison and came out bigger than ever. Yes, that's one thing I do like about Martha is she's gangsta and she's real. She gave the best roast of Justin Bieber. I mean, I like her. She just tells it like it is. She doesn't seem fake. I think she could be a biatch, but so what? I think she's just real. She's a perfectionist, right? And Meghan, yeah, Meghan doesn't tell the world she's a biatch. We just know she is one because she wants to be clear. Am I clear? Remember that? Am I clear? Ugh. Anyways. And yes, that's right. The Princess of Wales with her plum jam. Now, I do remember a couple years back, Catherine had done an interview where she said, I think her very first Christmas, that she didn't know what to give the queen, and she made her grandmother's homemade chutney. And she presented that to the queen as a gift. Now, I would love to have the chutney recipe. I believe it was the chutney. It could have been plum jam, but I thought it was chutney. And I thought, now that, if she would put that on her website, oh my God, the recipe for that would be amazing. Koala says, and that's the thing. These women are authentic, are real, not put on or fake or hamming. Absolutely. Pamela says, why didn't she film in her own house? Anyone know? Yeah, everything about Harry and Meghan is just kind of bizarre. They're very smoke and mirrors. Even their H&M documentary wasn't filmed in their house, guys. It was a rented house. Um, and why they're not filming this in her house is it's beyond me. Maybe she doesn't want staff in her home, the camera crew, for security, whatever. I don't know. There's something very odd about Meghan and Harry. Everything is so smoke and mirrors. And I think that's why people don't trust them because they make everything so complicated. And you have to jump through hoops to get a fact. Like the whole birth with Archie, whether you believe, she did or didn't, just the fact that it was so confusing that no one knew what was going on. Even the palace was left in the dark. That's a red flag. So the whole thing about the cooking show, about how authentic I am and watch my show and this is my jam, but you're not even in your kitchen. And she was walking around barefoot in somebody's kitchen. Ugh. Anyways, that's it with her hair down. Ugh, making food. Just yuck. Elsie said she's so fake and totally predictable. Yeah. You know what's really funny is that according to Neil Shong, he had some recipes out. Meghan really thinks that she did something. She did something. She modernized the royal family. Now Harry and Meghan believe that Catherine and William have copied them, with showing more affection and those black and white photos that they put out and all those beautiful clips that we see on social media behind the scenes. But what Harry and Meghan fail to realize is that Catherine and William had been around a lot longer than they have. Their marriage is what, 12 plus years compared to 7, plus they dated for 8 years. But they've had plenty of black and white photos. We've seen plenty of clips of them gently looking at each other, holding hands, tapping each other. They're not over the top PDA. There's not the lobster claw, but we have all seen it for years, the affection and the love that they have for one another. And yes, they are showing more, which I love because I believe cancer brought them together as a married couple. When you go through something, it bonds you. And I think they appreciate each other more. That's just my interpretation. Recently, we saw them walking and they were holding hands. But the difference is the camera was behind them. They weren't doing it in front of the camera. They didn't even know they were being filmed. As they were walking away, they were holding hands talking. There's a difference. Harry and Meghan had what we call performative PDA. Oh, look, there's the camera. Hold my hand, Harry. Pretend I'm saying something funny. Oh, let me put my head on your shoulder as I look directly at the camera. There's a difference. Catherine gently tapped William when they were in the kitchen. She wasn't, telling the world, look at us, guys. There's a difference. But Harry and Meghan now believe that William and Catherine owe it to them, that they modernized the royal family, and that William and Catherine are still in their thunder. It's like, you left the royal family 5 years ago, son. There's nothing to steal. You live in Montecito. Nobody checks on you. Nobody cares. They're the future king and queen. It's like there's no comparison. But again, Harry and Meghan are so stuck on themselves, they think that everyone's jealous of them. Go figure. So they're now accusing Catherine of copying with the jam. Unbelievable. Hello, Deborah. Hello, Pamela. Yeah, I just find it hilarious how they think that anyone's copying them. Yeah, Elsie says, oh goodness, they try to disrespect the future king and queen. So jealous. It really is kind of sad. The spare twice removed. They're so irrelevant now. It's really sad. And I guess apparently William is now, giving little interviews to the press, like with Us Weekly, talking about how he's so happy with his family. And I think it's really sad how they're constantly leaking clips to let everyone know how happy they are. Very, very sad. I love it when you call Has son. Yeah, for sure. MMC says, I think Jason doing that interview is a peek into what the future holds for H&M. Exactly. And of course, Harry and Meghan now are accusing the royal family and Jason Knopf of planting that interview right, the week before her show. But yeah, I thought he spoke very eloquently. He was very fair. He didn't say anything negative. He had a job to do and he did his job. Harry and Meghan are copying everybody else. Exactly. Old Fashioned Dream says, I don't believe she thought Americans liked the royals. Absolutely. Well, what I believe is that Meghan, in my opinion, convinced Harry that he was being mistreated. Now, there was a book that just came out. I was going to actually do a video on it. I have to do my research on it for y'all, where Meghan was very upset about Not Caught. She felt that they were mistreating Harry, that he was a star. He should have had everything that William had. And he did to a certain extent. They were renovating that apartment at Kensington Palace. And then, of course, they all had those huge fights where they broke up their joint charities and they created the Sussex and then the Cambridge house. And then Harry and Meghan moved over to Frogmore Cottage. But Meghan was constantly, talking in Harry's ear that he was being mistreated. And I believe she sold him a fake story that they would go to America and they would be top dogs in America. And to double down, they did the Oprah Winfrey interview, which I believe Meghan thought, I'm going to endear myself to the American people and I'm going to play the victim. I'm going to talk about the evil tyranny of the royal family, and I'm a mixed race woman, and they were racist. Because it was during the time when race was a very big social issue. So she came in there with her crocodile tears out her left eye and thought, I'm going to do something here. And it did work for a lot of people who were uneducated. A lot of Americans are not aware of royal protocol. And that was the reason why I started my whole channel in the first place, was me being a lifelong royal watcher, knew she was lying. All the stories she said on the Oprah Winfrey interview. I was gobsmacked what I was hearing both of them say. Gobsmacked. But the funny thing is that that Oprah Winfrey interview did backfire, where people focused more on her calling them, unconscious bias racists versus the story that she told of her wanting to harm herself. That backfired because no one really talked about that. They kind of skimmed over that part and then they went immediately to the other part. And if you watch the H&M documentary, they show behind the scenes Harry and Meghan watching the interview, and her reaction was, "Oh, they're not talking about that." She was upset because she's a narcissist. She wanted it all to be on herself, but instead it came about the racism. Remember that? And then the next day they asked William about, "Are you guys a racist family?" Yeah, she wasn't happy. It did not endear her to the American people. It did to some people, but I think nowadays, 5 years out, people have now heard it to death and they realize, she wasn't telling the truth. So a lot of people in America do love the royals. And I do find it hilarious that William and Catherine are the favorite royals. Even though we have Harry and Meghan living here, William, I think, was the most popular person in America, I think, last year, which I love, absolutely love. Celia says, maybe only I enjoyed the Barbie footage. It was so funny. Thank you. I do try, y'all, with the Barbies. I know some people like them, some people don't. I would love to do more of my Harry and Meghan Barbie footage, y'all. I have my Montecito compound. I ordered some more Barbie clothes off of Amazon. I did the little Christmas thing for y'all. It takes a lot of time to write the script and then to actually hold the Barbies and film and edit. A lot of times I did it like on my lunch break. But my goal is I would love to be able to do a series of Barbie reenactments that are filmed really well and done really well for y'all. Make them like a series of YouTube shorts. So maybe that will come in the future, y'all. Maybe that will come in the future. But let me know if you want some Barbie features. Put it in the comments. She says, at Miss Lulu, almost most Americans hold family structure in high regard and respect the Queen immensely. Yeah, the Queen has been around for so long that, sorry, my friend was texting me. The Queen has been around for so long that she's been a mainstay in many people's lives. Koala says, it boggles my mind how no one was held the Menzies accountable for what they say and do, especially Maggie plagiarism. Yeah, like I can't remember who it was, but one of our YouTubers talked about all of the plagiarism that Meghan Markle has done, all of these speeches that she has lifted quotes from and never gives credit. Like if you're going to do a speech and if you're going to quote someone, you say, and Maya Angelou said, and you tell the quote. But Meghan will just like give a quote and act like she said it, which I find interesting that she doesn't realize we have Google. Because we all know Meghan Markle doesn't know how to Google. SW says, I have a Queen Elizabeth Barbie saving for my granddaughter. Did you get the one that they did that just came out a couple of years ago? Because I wanted to buy that Queen Elizabeth Barbie, but it was like limited edition, and then it became so expensive. I was like, oh, I wanted to get that Barbie. I really did. Someone says, "Is it hard to set up?" Thanks, Michelle. No, it just takes a little bit more time. Um, but y'all know I work a full-time job, and then my dad, and then the spare time I have, I try to make videos, or I'm spending it with family. And I had an eye condition, so the Barbie stuff, I probably need to get a Barbie stand, so that way I can kind of position them and move them and talk and everything at the same time. I was doing it with one hand and really quickly on a lunch break, so it was kind of hard to do. I thought some of them turned out okay, but I really wish I could have made them a little bit better. But if I have more time, if y'all enjoy them, maybe I'll make some YouTube shorts, and maybe like once a month we'll put in a movie skit. Because I thought it would be funny, to have the life-size Barbie of Harry with me doing my Harry voice versus just a photo. But sometimes ideas don't always quite come together. But we're working on it. Yes, someone said Barbie shorts. Okay. Okay, we'll work on that for y'all. Sunflower says at the Royal Recollections. Oh, okay. We'll leave that comment there. Carol says also Meghan claimed to go to college and she plagiarized. Where in college is considered that a cardinal sin? She plagiarized in college? I'm confused. Huh? Barbies are very collectible. We appreciate it. Wishing you good health. Aw. Well, I searched long and hard to find a red-headed Ken doll, and I lucked out, y'all. I found a Prince Harry replica, and some of y'all tell me he has too much hair, but and the Megan. So I paid like $50. I was like, I'm gonna buy it. But I love my Barbies. I do. Um, Stephanie says, "Why do you think people and YouTubers have been following these two losers for so long? Are you talking about Harry and Meghan?" I don't know who you were talking about. Um, Sunflower says, "My mother had the Princess Diana and Prince Charles dolls when they got married. They are about 2 feet tall. Does she still have them? That would be so amazing." When I was younger, I had for Christmas, my very first Christmas when Diana got married, uh, I got the paper dolls for Princess Diana, and I love those things. I even had a Betsy Ross one. Do y'all remember paper dolls? I loved paper dolls. They were fun. You could change their outfits. But I had a Princess Diana paper doll, and I think someone said they sell them on Amazon. So I might have to go buy myself a paper doll. Add it to my royal collection. I'm starting my royal collection, so I would love to get myself a Princess Diana paper doll. And that very first year they got married, I got 3 books of her royal wedding of the Princess Diana from 1981, y'all. I had it I wish I still had it. It was the original print. Beautiful portraits and of the royal wedding. And unfortunately, about 4 years ago, I had them on my patio in boxes, and it got damaged, and I had to throw them away. And I was very sad. That was before I started my royal commentary, because I never thought I'd be doing royal commentary. Never in a million years. And I just wish I had them. So I might have to repurchase those as well. I do have a couple of other coffee table books that I really enjoy. Star Child Jess says, "What did you think when you heard Archie say only if you want me to? I think the Mommy Dearest book might sell more than Spare did." Yeah, a lot of people have their theories on that. Some people feel like he was scared of her and he says only if you want me to. I don't know how I feel about that. Let me know what y'all think. Do you feel that it was a sign that maybe Archie's not comfortable around her and he was nervous that maybe she's going to yell at him? Let me know your thoughts. Yes. Nini says, "I loved paper dolls." Yes. Those were the days, weren't they? We had such simple toys back then. Now it's all mechanical stuff. Hello, Kareen. So glad that you can join us. Hello, Renee. Welcome. We're just having a little chit chat. Oh, the pups need walking. Okay, bye, Donna. SW says, I bought a princess beanie baby for my daughter 20 years ago. Was it a Princess Diana or just like a princess? That sounds really cool. Let me know what do you guys collect? Y'all know I collect antique clocks, and now I'm starting a royal collection of royal replica jewelry because I got my Princess Diana rings and I have some tiaras, but I'm also collecting like coffee table books, some tiaras, and I'm looking to get some other royal merch. But let me know if you guys have any collectibles. What do you collect? Let me know in the comments. I like to hear what people collect. And of course, y'all can always send me photos. I love photos. Sunflower says, these are replicas of them in their wedding outfits. They are gorgeous. Oh, the Barbies or the beanies? That sounds so fun. I love that. They do have the William and Catherine Barbies that you can purchase in their wedding attire, but they were a couple $100s. And I was like, maybe. Okay. Carol says affordable royal jewelry and clothing. Yes, I do have an Amazon storefront that you guys can go to if you like, because I do have a royal collection, kind of a replicate section of royal jewelry, engagement rings, and some outfits that Catherine and other royals have worn on an Amazon budget. So y'all can make sure you go and check that out. And I am trying to add more to the collection. So that way, if you're like me and Carol, if you want to get some royal inspired clothing or jewelry, you can go and check out the Amazon storefront. Let's see. Oh, okay. Nini says, I collect antique scales. You know what else, Nini? I also collect antique scales. Well, I got like 2 or 3 in my kitchen. I have an old fashioned, like rusty scale in my kitchen. My mom got me on angels, scales, and clocks. But I think I've just now decided to do clocks. But the scales sound very interesting. No, I'm not cosplaying Diana, but I do like some of Catherine's outfits, some of her casual attire, the jeans, the shirts, the boots. I do like some of her attire. Yes. Okay, I can send you a picture, an email if you'd like. Absolutely, Sunflower. Please do. And I could share it in an upcoming video if you want me to. Just let me know. I love when you guys share. Snow globes. That sounds fun. So SD collects snow globes when you travel. So how many snow globes do you have and where have you traveled? Okay. Celia says it could have been staged. He seemed nervous to me, paid child actor. Yeah. Yeah, he definitely he didn't seem comfortable. Yeah. Elsie says, I had paper doll book on Charles and Diana wedding. Christine, I have antique clocks and I have many glass antiques. Wow, Elsie, that sounds like an amazing collection. If you want to send me a photo, please do. Yes, I love Catherine's fashion and other royal fashion. Did y'all see? I believe it was Queen Mary of Denmark recently wore that beautiful pink, sparkly Jenny Packham dress that Catherine had worn to the Jordanian royal wedding back in, was it 2003, 2004? And I thought she looked stunning. Queen Mary, I think she could be the older sister for Catherine. Their styles are so identical. She looked fabulous. Yeah, let's see. Kareem says, anyone going to watch Mega Liar's show coming in a few days? If so, get your vomit bags ready. Yes, I am going to watch it for you guys. So if you do not want to watch it and give her a view, you can come here for the highlights. Because I know a lot of people don't have Netflix. They got rid of Netflix. They don't want to give her a view. I am very interested to see what's going to happen. Now, I do believe it's going to get a decent amount of ratings, probably better than their last 3 shows combined, because it stars Meghan. The problem with the last couple of things they did, like Polo, they weren't in it, and people weren't interested in Polo. The Live to Lead, they just slapped their name on it. Nobody watched that snooze fest. I didn't even watch the snooze fest. The Invictus Games, I didn't even watch the Invictus Games, y'all. And I heard that Harry was in it a little bit, but that also was a failure. So the fact that it's Meghan Markle and she's a train wreck, I think it's going to do decent. But it's going to be panned. The amount of people ripping her on Netflix was truly astonishing. Sorry, guys. I had to drink. Yes, I'm taking it for the team, y'all. Taking it from the team. SB said, same drinking Bloody Marys. Okay. Renee said, we collect so many things, Native American art, early space exploration memorabilia, chemistry-related items among my favorites. That sounds fascinating. My dad used to collect Egyptian artifacts and also memorabilia from World War II. He had quite a few little, badges and stuff like that from different militaries. Because my dad was in the military, but he did have a couple of Egyptian artifacts that are pretty interesting. Yeah, don't choke on my tea. Exactly. Oh, thank you, Kareem. Yes, Queen Mary of Denmark has the same dress, blue and pink. Princess Marie of Denmark has it in green, and Catherine, Princess of Wales, has it in both green and pink. That's right. I actually like the green. I think the green is really pretty. And I think that Princess Marie of Denmark looks so much like Queen Mary, they could almost be sisters. I think they look so much alike. Yes, please send me a picture. Josie says, I need to watch to confirm if Meghan uses Haley Duff do biscuit recipe from the Real Girls Kitchen. I'm a fan of Haley Duff. I really do like her acting. Sorry, y'all, I have to sip again. Yeah, I know she was a guest on that show. I can't imagine that Meghan would use that recipe because I think all of her quote unquote cooking is based on her guests, right? Like Roy Coy. And then they have that other lady, Alice, who's in the garden. Mindy Kaling, they're talking about lighting for children's parties and running around in a Jeep at the beach. Then her friend Abigail Spencer, she's scooping jam and ice cream. I can't imagine she would make a biscuit, but who knows? We did see her making that bread with her other friend. Did y'all hear that that Nacho's wife, Delphina, liked the As Ever NYC Instagram? She liked one of their, I think she had bought something from their website a while ago, but she liked something as well as Gwyneth Paltrow. I thought that was hysterical. Karine says, sorry to change the subject a bit. Anyone following Avid Gardner, it seems her hubby is going to be leaving us due to his cancer. Yes, I have heard, and I am sending out prayers. Definitely. Yes. SW says, my dad was in World War II and was in Germany when Elvis was there. Wow. Elvis lived in Fort Hood, Texas, which is where my dad was stationed. And there was a house that people used to drive by. And apparently Elvis, when he was in the military, had also briefly lived there. And so people used to drive by and say, oh, Elvis used to live in this house. in Texas. Um, dog biscuit recipe. She sent Nacho some, and in the trailer, she gives her dog one. Okay. Now, supposedly, there's another story about Meghan being mad that King Charles and Camilla have a new dog because y'all remember her dog had passed away. Guy had passed away. And she made the whole Instagram thing, and it didn't go over that well. And then King Charles and Camilla had lost their dog, and they had just recently adopted another dog. And rumor is, according to Neil Sean, they're very upset that they got all this press. Again, Meghan just cannot stand anybody to do anything similar to her. Ocean Gal says, I collect deck of cards when I travel, and music boxes, they all play music figures. Snow Globes, Wizard of Oz, Pink Panther. I love Pink Panther. Sea Life, most of them I've received as gifts. So I think it's really cool when you're someone who likes certain things and you collect things. People will then start to buy you that as a gift. Like for Christmas, my sister bought me the most beautiful Queen Elizabeth Christmas ornament that I shared with y'all in that beautiful bag that had all the pictures of the Queen and her different colored outfits. And at work, everyone knows I love the royal family. It's kind of like the worst kept secret. And I've received 3 beautiful coffee table books on the royal family. So it's really good when people know what you like. I haven't received any antique clocks, but I do go to my mom's house and she always gives me one. So I guess it kind of works out. But good for you. Sounds like a really nice collection. Oh, Lizzie B said, I heard she doesn't want to align with Meghan anymore. Are you talking about Delphina Nacho's wife? Now, according to Neil Sean, again, take it with a grain of salt, apparently because Polo was such a flop that Delphina and Nacho thought this was going to make them stars, and the show flopped. So there might be some interesting bad blood behind the scenes. So that could be. Maybe that's where they fell out. I have no idea. Elsie said, oh my gosh, I am just heartbroken. My Graham's ultimate. Oh, I feel like I'm losing a friend. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's very, very sad. Megalar left out the fact the dog died last year. She screwed up so royally that she threw out the dog died only for people to feel sympathy and to forget the nasty that she's been up to. Yeah, she is a true narcissist. You know, she is a what is it? A HD had her pegged as a I can't say the name, but one was about appearances, and she definitely likes to play the victim. And she wanted people to feel sorry for her. And that's the problem is I think people just can see who she is. Right? She's on a worldwide stage. You might as well have a magnifying glass. We've all just seen her too much. Looks like Harry, that's why. Okay. I'm gonna keep trying to get on the comments. Yes, let's all send some hugs for Fiona and Graham. Definitely send hugs. Carol said, my grandfather made music boxes for his girls, and I received 2 of them. Oh, that sounds amazing. Yeah, so it's the lighting for children's parties. I've never heard of that in my entire life. Children's parties, they don't go, wow, the lighting was amazing. No. Parents don't go, you know, that party was amazing because the overhead lighting just the right ambiance for the food fighting and the cake. Yeah, that lighting was it just made the event. People just want to drop their kids off and pick them up at a certain time, and they usually walk out with a goodie bag. There's usually a child entertainment, there's cake, and there's food, and there's games. No one cares about overhead lighting. That's what you do for a dinner party with adults. You talk about the lighting and the seating arrangements. That's not a children's party, Megan. This is what tells me this woman is not a mother. She's not I'm a mom, I'm a hugger. Who plans a child birthday party and says, we got to fix the lighting? You put the children outside, at the pool, at the park, at the sprinkler. You take them to McDonald's. You know what I mean? You put out a jungle gym, you hire a jumpy. You don't put them inside with lighting. It makes no sense to me. And it was weird. It looked like they were in some kind of like glass gazebo. And that doesn't look like a fun kid party. It looked like an adult tea party. It just did not make any sense. I honestly, all my kid parties were just like at McDonald's, someone's house, the pool. Weird. Disco 1000 says maybe obsessed with lighting because Thomas Markle Sr. is a lighting director. Okay, very weird thought. Well, that could make a lot of sense. Ava Gardner was brave this morning. I would have been too broken to post. Just love. If you ever watch them, you could see the love. I saw part of it. I didn't watch the whole thing, so I'm going to have to go back and watch it. Yeah, let's see. Okay. Sorry. Okay, yeah, someone said the party spread looked like a hot mess. Yeah, it was very interesting. We'll see what happens. I just don't think this show is going to be a hit from the clips that we saw of her cooking the Korean barbecue and her dancing around because she puts jam in ice cream. None of the food looked appetizing. It did not look appetizing to me. I think this is going to be a flop, guys. But I think they're going to get good views because people like to watch a train wreck. But even like the H&M documentary, I think it was 4 parts. I had to struggle to get through all 4 parts, only because I was reporting on it. And they were in it. It was boring. So this one, 8 episodes. I think they're 30 minutes long. At least they're not like Polo where they were an hour long. I couldn't even get past the first episode of Polo. It was that boring. So we'll see what happens. Lizzie B, I had some good ideas about the show. I'm sending you an email. Okay, great. Cindy Blount said Harry is doing the I'm a dad routine too at the ridiculous I'm still a royal and a statesman speech. Yes, so he gave that really weird speech at that award. I'm going to probably do a video on that. But again, they try to act like they're just these normal folk who do normal things with their kids, and maybe they do. But yeah, I don't know if anyone's actually buying it. Yes, I am going to have a very painful watch. Yep. Someone said even Jamie Oliver's YouTube shorts are more interesting. In fact, his shorts are beautifully taped. There is definitely a thought and a creative process to make shorts because they used to only be 60 seconds, but now YouTube has extended them to 3 minutes. So, what people can do in that amount of time, the artistry, hats off to them. But I'm hoping I can make some art with my Barbies. Some interesting shorts. I'm actually going to start doing more shorts here on my YouTube. I'm going to start doing more lives and hopefully start doing some videos on my other channel. Um, there's just been so much going on with my family. But yeah, so I really do hope I can produce more content for you guys, be a little bit more consistent. That is ultimately my goal is I really do want to grow this channel and provide more content for you guys. It's so hard to keep up with everything. And it takes 2 to 3 hours to make a 15-minute video. It takes a very long time. That's why I think a lot of people do lives because they're just easy. They just turn on the camera and they talk. So I did mention I might try to start doing Sunday mornings. That way, every week on a Sunday, you can come over maybe around noon and we could do a live because I think I'll get more people. Because right now it's kind of late in other countries. I think it's too late. So I might start doing Sunday mornings, Sunday morning lives with you guys, make it a regular thing. And I'm trying to do more videos and also more shorts. It's just a lot of work, but I do enjoy it. And I want to have more content and more unique stuff like the Barbie stuff. So, yeah. Um, it says, Michelle, how are you? You're going through a lot. Is your dad okay? Well, um, my dad isn't going to change. So my dad did have a stroke about 4 months ago, and he needs 24-hour care now. So he's doing as best as he can, and that's all we can really hope for at this point. He's made some progresses here or there, but we're just grateful for all that we have. So, yeah, it definitely puts your life in perspective, and I'm sure Graham and Avid also are going through it as well. So again, my heart does go out to them, sending them hugs because it is tough. That is for sure. Carol said, my dad lived to 100 and my grandma is 103. Fingers crossed. Well, congratulations. Thank you, Lizzie. Elsie says, oh man, P, my uncle just died a few days ago and this hit me hard. Oh, I'm sending prayers. Thank you guys. I mean, it's just one of those things that we all have to face in life. It's not one of those things you ever want to face. But, we're very grateful and blessed for everything that we have. And, I wish I had better news, but yeah. So it is what it is. It definitely puts your life in perspective and it makes you want to find joy and happiness and surround yourself with positive people and to not take things for granted. And I think as we get older and our parents get older, life is just strange. And you learn a lot about yourself and your family and your parents. And yeah, so I've definitely learned to appreciate things a lot more now. When you're young, you're invincible. And then when you get older, you realize, wow, it goes quick. So yeah, so I definitely understand what Fiona's going through. So sorry, Michelle. It hurts for us to watch our parents age and be sick. I like we become the parents now. But I want to because my parents now need me. That's exactly correct. And that's how I feel. 100% is what I'm going through. It's kind of a role reversal. And it's hard. It really is. But I guess it's the way it's meant to be. So definitely. Cindy Blunt said, I'm a daddy's girl. He passed of a series of strokes. My mom just before Christmas, both in my 40s. It's losing your parents. I'm so sorry, Cindy. Sending you lots of love, but you're part of the RDT community. I know there's a lot of people out there who don't have a lot of family, don't have a lot of friends. And so you always have us at the RDT community because I think a lot of people don't realize or really talk about it, not to be all depressing, but a lot of people don't talk about that when you're an adult, sometimes you become alone and don't have as many friends or family. And it really is a weird situation to be in. And so, if y'all ever feel that way, please reach out to me, send me an email, send me a message. I think we all have a very nice community here of people who support one another. And I'm so proud of my little RDT community. We're small. Some of y'all have been with me since the very beginning, and I do appreciate y'all being here. I'm not as big as some of the other YouTubers, even though I've been here for 4 years. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with my 40,000. I love all my peeps. I do, because I feel like y'all are my friends and we have a nice community. And I can be my wacky self and y'all appreciate my humor, which I appreciate that. Some of my jokes are pretty bad. So I like the fact y'all like my jokes. Just got to get y'all on board with the Barbies. We just got to make the Barbies happen. We're going to make it happen, guys. We're going to make it happen. So, because I want to buy more clothes and, it'll be fun. Oh, Star Child says, I honestly always loved your vibe. Thank you. I do have a wacky sense of humor. And when I first did my hairy voice, I was like, what's really funny is I thought y'all would hate it and y'all ended up liking it. So again, you just never know what people are going to like, and you just got to be yourself and you got to find your tribe, and y'all are my tribe. So I just appreciate that. I really do. And it is a wonderful community. I have the best subscribers. Don't tell anybody, but I really do. I love my RDTs. Oh, you're a doll, Michelle. Thank you so much. And you love my Texas sass. Thank you. It took a while. I think I'm one of those people that I just grow on people. You either like me or you don't. And I get it. I get it. And I think one person I read when I did my interview with RHR Jen, she's like, I just couldn't get into her in the beginning. And I get that. Like, I do. And I appreciate that. Like, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. And when I first started doing videos, y'all, I was afraid to put out my video because I thought, oh my God, I sound terrible. And I made jokes and no one's going to like it. And I'm surprised. I am so surprised that I actually have followers. Y'all don't even understand. So I definitely appreciate that you guys stick with me and you enjoy my videos. Oh, cup of tea. Thank you, Koala. I appreciate that. That's very kind. Oh, Lisa D says, you do great. Thank you. It's really funny. When I first said Dati, I thought to myself, oh my God, that sounds so dumb. I have to delete that. And I kept it in and it became one of my catchphrases, which is hysterical because you just never know what people are going to like and what people don't. So, thank you, Lisa. So, Missy Lou says, you're so knowledgeable and do your research. It's why I love your channel. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Thank you, Kathy. Old Fashioned Dreams, World AT, just always be you. You are great. Thank you. I definitely appreciate that. The royal family was blessed to have their matriarch and patriarch for over 70 years. Yes, absolutely. I mean, she was queen for as long as people were alive. As long as I've been alive, she was the queen. It's so weird now when you look at pictures of the queen, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but when I look back at pictures of the queen, it's like she looks so much older and so much more frail than I remember her being. Do you know what I mean? Like, you look at the photo and you're like, oh my goodness, that poor woman. But she was so strong and magnificent. She was the queen. And we held her in such high regard. But the last, 1 or 2 years, you could tell that, she was really battling her cancer. And it just breaks my heart to think of all the stuff that woman was put through unnecessarily by the Montecito duo. And I have great merch. Thank you. And somebody bought some merch, and I got to go in there. I got to thank a couple of y'all. Some of y'all really went in and bought some merch. Thank you guys so much. I'm so happy every time I get a sale. Y'all just don't know. It makes my day. So thank y'all very, very much for that. Star Cal says, yes, I know what you mean, right? Because it's weird. Like, it feels like she just died, but she's been gone, what, almost 3 years? Was it 2022? She passed away? And I just feel like it was yesterday. And when I look at photos of her, I was like, oh my goodness. Um, anyways, yeah, it's very interesting. Let's see, I gotta get it. I got some comments here. um, so it says, I know what you mean. The last photo of her with the blue cardigan, I burst into tears. Yes. Mm-hmm. Lizzie B says, I so wanted the late queen to get to 100 like her mom, but when I saw the last photo of her, it shocked me. I knew something was wrong. I truly believe there was a stress factor in her rapid demise. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. September 8th. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I really do believe that after Philip passed, she just kind of was ready. She was like, I kind of felt like she was holding on for the 70th, for the platinum jubilee, and that was it. She'd done her time, and and she was done. Hello, Teresa E. Kareem says, remember the tale of the rabbit and the snail. Don't worry about your numbers, Michelle. Your viewers follow you because you're not lying or using clickbait. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that because sometimes I do compare myself to other people. A lot of my friends have these astronomical numbers and they jump up real fast, and I'm here 4 years later. But I understand we all have our own pace, and I get that, and I do appreciate that. I got to go up here. So I think I have some comments that I missed. Um, let's see here. Yeah, Carol says, I love your, I'm a mom. Thank you. And somebody on the interview with Jen said that you liked my salt and pepper, peanut butter, and jelly. So I'm glad you guys like those catchphrases. I do appreciate that. Other channels have fake subscriber numbers, Michelle. I think you have more than they say. Huh. Interesting. Um, let's see. If I missed you, I apologize. Oh, I love the hairy voice too. I'm so glad y'all enjoyed it. It's fun to do. It really is. It's fun to do. I did have one person tell me when I first started doing the hairy voice that I scared them and I should never do it again. So sometimes you're just going to get those people, Go Texas. Absolutely. Love the Barbies and this channel. Thank you, Angie. My sister's name is Angie. Good name. So I'm hoping, maybe in the future, y'all, we'll do the shorts for the Barbies. I love the Barbies. Love the Texas sass. You're a doll. Thank you. Let's see here. Go down. If y'all have any questions, just let me know. Put them in the comments. I think you're doing a terrific job. Thank you so much. Because sometimes it's awkward. I'm going to be honest. Because I'm sitting here talking to myself in my house. A funny fact, one time I was doing a live and I had my window open and my neighbors walked by and I'm sitting here talking to myself. It's kind of odd. Teresa E says, you know how people have a bucket list? Well, my friend and I have just shoot me list, as in, your old when. So on the list is having pants pulled up too high, like M in the picture. Okay. Interesting. Not Nanette says, you have tea and Barbies that makes you the best. Aw, thank you. I appreciate that. I actually was hoping one day we can have a high tea where I'm going to have a tea, be on camera, and y'all can join me with your little tray of goodies, and we can have high tea together. I thought that would be fun. Okay, Kareem says, who honestly thinks Prick Harry is still in love? That's a hard one, because I don't know. Some days I feel like Harry and Meghan honestly are meant for each other and that they're going to stay married. And then other times that you can definitely see the cracks that he's definitely, that show, Who the Hell Did I Marry? I think Harry asked himself that quite a few times. But he's also a little thick. I mean, let's be real. He's a little thick. And he is kind of stuck on himself, and she does play to his insecurities. Like, she knows how to stroke his ego. She's a manipulator. I don't think they're as loved up as they want the world to think they are. I think the rose has fallen off the bloom. Again, this year will be 7 years. We're talking 7-year itch. They don't seem like they're the same couple. I think it's very fake. It's for the cameras. Now, they could have some happy moments behind the scenes. And let's be honest here. She kind of put him on an island of one. She separated him from his family, from his friends. That's what they do. That's how she got him. She's made it very difficult for him. If he wanted to leave her tomorrow, where is he going to go? He's got his kids in California. He doesn't have a lot of his old friends left. His family doesn't want anything to do with him. He doesn't have Frogmore Cottage unless he wants to go back to Notcott or sleep with Uncle Andy in one of the guest bedrooms over there at the Royal Lodge. I don't think Eugenie is going to let him shack up there. Where is he going to go? Maybe his Uncle Spencer will open up the door. And that's a whole can of worms. That whole Spencer divorce, y'all, is getting nasty. I'm going to do a video on the Spencers. His uncle, I'm sorry, has been dining out on Diana almost as bad as Harry, in my opinion. So maybe he'll shack up with the uncle. But I think she's made it so hard for him to leave her. And that's what they do. And of course, she's been shopping that burn book, that divorce book. So who knows? Honestly, they're so weird. We don't even know if they live in Montecito together. They don't film in their house. Everything with these two is very weird. And the fact that he keeps having to tell the world how happy he is makes me think he's not. Why do they always have to convince people, I'm a mom? We're the salt and pepper. We're so in love. And the over-the-top PDA. It's like, who are you trying to convince, yourself or us? So I don't think he's as happy as he used to be, but I think he's stuck. Because if he goes home to his daddy with his tail between his legs, he has to admit to the world he made a mistake. That William was right. His father was right. We were all right. We saw the red flags. He didn't see them. So I think it would be really hard for him to leave. Now, I'm not saying he wouldn't. I also partially believe that little bolt hole in Portugal could be his future bachelor pad. And that's halfway between the UK and America. And of course, Eugenie lives there, right? So that could be a place for him to get away from the old bat. But yeah, that's kind of, I don't think they're as happy as they were, but I don't think he's miserable enough to leave yet. But I think it's coming. Because if everything goes to hell in a handbasket, which we all think it's gonna, with her show, it's not going to be a happy place in Montecito. Both of them like the limelight. There's 2 stars there. Meghan wants to be the top star, but Harry is the top draw because he's a royal. And Meghan is failing at everything that she does. People can tolerate Harry, but they don't seem to tolerate Meghan. She's like the plus one. They got to take her because they want Harry. So if everything goes to hell in a handbasket for little Megsy, I don't know what they have left. They're running out of money. I mean, they have money, but the kind of money that they need to sustain their lifestyle and to have their children have a trust fund, generational wealth, uh, they're pissing it away because they're not making any more money. We're not seeing WME writing any new checks. He gets $1 million a year from Better Up, which, let's be honest, how much longer is that little gravy train going to keep on a running? Not very long. I mean, that company's got a lot of problems. And to pay him $1 million a year to do nothing, just saying. They haven't signed any more book deals, and the rumor is that Penguin Random House quietly quit them. We think Netflix might be dumping Meghan. This brand, as ever, might be as never. They just got a lot of problems. And writing another book, he hasn't trashed his family since Spare, and that's the only thing worth any money. So if he's not willing to pony up some more dirt on the royals, they don't have any more currency left. So I think by the end of this year, maybe going into 2026, we're going to maybe see a separation. That's my prediction. So we'll just put that out there. I don't think it's going to happen yet. There's a little meat on that bone. But if everything goes to hell in a handbasket, I think it's going to be a major problem for the Sussexes. That's my prediction. Someone says, come on, use the Harry voice in one of your catchphrases. The British media. If Meghan's show fails, it's because the British media, they did it. It's their fault. That's the only word I can really say really well. The British media. My mom. Okay. Oh, thank you for the super sticker in Angel Fire. Thank y'all so much. It's very sweet. Old Fashioned Dream says, I believe the boy is his, not sure if it's the girl. Oh, you're talking about the children. Yeah. Oh, William. Hello. Okay. Y'all, I'm sorry, but I'm loving the beard. I love the beard. And I think Catherine likes it too. William for sure. King William. Yes, William is very hot in that beard. Josie says, I agree. I think the only way he will leave her is if he finds another hot, greedy, social climbing bimbo who want to be a princess too. You know what I also believe? I do believe, and this is my fake royal prediction, okay? But I do believe that they will get divorced. And I do believe if Harry gets remarried, he will live in the UK and he's going to get himself an English rose, meaning a woman who's got traditional values, who understands the assignment, who's very traditional, kind of a Sophie, a woman who doesn't want to be center stage. Because to be a royal is not to be a rock star, it's to be a royal. So I think I could see Harry moving back to the UK, getting remarried to a woman who's not a wannabe starlet, and one who would actually do well for him. He needs a stable, grounded woman. Meghan's not it. He married a peacock, a showboat. And Harry needed a Catherine. And he unfortunately got a Walmart Wallace. Yeah. He done messed up. Yeah. Lizzie B says, I love the beard too. Princess Catherine is one lucky woman. Now, I'm jealous of Catherine because she got William. They make a beautiful couple. Yes, they do. Carol says, I love your royal predictions. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I was right. Princess Beatrice did have another girl. I did predict that. Just saying. Cindy says, I don't think such a woman would marry Harry. I think so, Cindy, because I believe, maybe someone in his circle of friends, like a friend of a friend, a good, classy woman with some good breeding. I think maybe it'll happen. Who knows? Cindy says, Cressida was a Catherine and she dumped him. Very rightly done. Yeah. I think at the time, and this is my honest thought, I think if Meghan would have met him sooner, they would have not married. It was timing. She came in at the right time. He was desperate. He was lonely. And the royal family was kind of like, we think it's time for you to settle down, son. Quit playing, Xbox in your underoos. Get yourself a wife. Unfortunately for them, he picked the wrong wife. But I do believe it was timing. If she would have came 2 years earlier, I don't think they would have married. That's my prediction. Kareem says it doesn't matter what he needs. Michelle is another woman. He threw his family under the bus. Absolutely. He didn't have to do it, but he did on his own. Absolutely correct. I do not, I rag Harry just as much as I rag Meghan. As a matter of fact, I kind of blame him more because he allowed this woman to do this. He rolled over and let her do it. I don't think it's going to be an easy road back for him. And I don't know if he'll be a working royal ever, but never say never. 10 years from now, who knows what's going to happen? It's not going to be a cakewalk, and I think a lot of people are not going to like him, but we just don't know what the future holds. But he's 100% not ever going to go back while he's married to Meghan. That, I would say, is a fact. He almost did, but he came to his senses. I'm glad he saw that Princess Catherine was a good woman with a great family values. Absolutely. You really could not have picked a better Princess of Wales, in my opinion. And y'all know I'm a Princess Diana fan. But in my opinion, and don't come for me, but I do believe in a couple of years, Catherine is going to surpass Princess Diana in popularity. I really do. People love her. She married into the royal family, in 2011. She has been such a great duchess and a princess of Wales and a future queen. Oh my goodness. The Waleses, the Fab Five. Really. He could not have picked a better woman. Could not have. Thank God for Catherine. I really do believe her and William are saving this royal family, for sure. Kareem says there are absolutely no excuses what Harry did to his family, even admitting he wanted to unalive his dad. That wasn't mega liar. That was him admitting it. Absolutely. He was a royal tool in that book. Such a baby. And Carol says, I agree with you about the timing. Everything with men, they always say in relationships, it's about timing. The man has to be ready to date, ready to marry. And, Harry was 33 when he got married, roughly? Yeah, I think he was ready. Neekins, I thought I was the oldest person on here, 56, same age as Paula M, and some month. Teresa, you're not much older than me. I'm in my 50s. There's a lot of Gen Xers in here. Kareem says, those old girlfriends of Dimwit Harry bailed ship because they recognized a sinking ship when they saw it. Absolutely. Star Child says, I always think, boy, Meghan's lucky as heck she wasn't around when the Queen Mother, Margot, Philip, and Elizabeth were around. Well, she was with Philip. But yeah, she definitely lucked out there. Yes, I was going to mention this, Misty Lulu. I'm so glad you reminded me. Joan Collins is going to be starring in a movie about Wallace Simpson in London and Paris. So I'm so excited. Now, Joan Collins is like 90 years old. She still looks fabulous, by the way. And she's married to a much younger man. Go, Joan. So I am excited to see this movie about her playing Wallace Simpson. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for that. And do I have any Downton Abbey fans? The third Downton Abbey movie, y'all, is coming out in September of this year. And I think it's the final installment. So if you're a Downton Abbey fan like me, there's one more movie coming out. Kareem says, I haven't heard you say yes, thank for a while. It always makes me laugh. I did say it in a couple of videos ago, but I try not to use them too much, but I'll make sure I say it for you next time. Yes, thank. I did have some followers tell me that her and her girlfriends now sit around and say, yes, thank. I like that. I like when you guys like one of my catchphrases. So I do enjoy that. Joan Collins. Yes, I used to watch her on Dynasty with Linda Evans and John Forsythe and Heather Locklear. See, I think what we're missing now, y'all, is soap operas. The nighttime soap operas, Dallas, Dynasty, Knots Landing, they ruled the 80s and the 90s. We don't have really juicy or Dallas, really juicy soap operas. And you know what's really funny is I'm actually going to start rewatching some of my old soap operas. Remember Falcon Crest with Morgan Fairchild? I don't know what these actresses are drinking. Jacqueline Smith, they all look fabulous. These women are in their 70s, 80s, and 90s, and they look amazing. Amazing. Didn't Barbara Eden, did she just pass away? Did I read that correctly, y'all? I don't remember. I thought I saw something about Barbara Eden, and she was 90 as well. Let me know if I'm correct. Did Barbara Eden pass? Am I wrong? I hope not, but I think I read that. Let me know. But I love Barbara Eden too. I watched an old movie with her and Larry Hagman. It was a scary movie that I told you I was from the 70s. I watched that like a couple months ago. It was really good. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong about Barbara Eden. I thought I saw a story about her. I could be wrong. Yes, where did Hollywood creativity go? Yes, I mean, we used to have such juicy stories. I do miss my good old soap operas. Yeah. So I'm actually going to start rewatching a couple of old stuff. I'm going to rewatch The Thornbirds with Richard Chamberlain and oh gosh, what is her name? Barbara Stanwyck. I'm going to watch The Thornbirds and I'm going to rewatch, I think, Dynasty. Yeah. I think, oh, okay. Is 93 and still, okay. Thank God. It's still with us. Okay. Woo. Thank y'all. Wait. I am correct about Barbara Eden. She passed. Someone just said she's with us. Oh gosh. We have to Google that. And Victoria Principal. Yes, I loved her in Dallas. Victoria Principal was very successful after Dallas with her beauty. Yes, she did. Beauty books and her skincare line, Victoria Principal. I believe I had her hair care. Did she have hair care or was it skincare? But yeah, I remember that. She had a very successful line of, I think, skincare and hair care. And of course, y'all know Suzanne Summers. I loved Suzanne Summers. Rachel Ward. Oh no, she's still alive. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry I told y'all wrong. Woo, thank God she's still with us. Okay. Never mind. I misread that. Because you know they always say it comes in threes. Oh gosh. Cindy Blunt says, oh yeah, when Harry said, as a dad, I just LOL and heard Michelle's voice. That's so funny. And then someone said, okay, so I don't think we're correct. She didn't die. So she's still alive, guys. She's still alive. Okay, thank God. So many wonderful actresses from the past. Yes. So let me know, guys. Do you guys have any old movies or shows that you like to rewatch? Y'all had a couple of them earlier, but I'm going to check out The Thornbirds and one of my old soap operas. So let me know. Y'all are going to do that. Someone says, the rumor is that Meg's cooking show has a fair number of continuity eras. I wouldn't be surprised because remember, the rumor was that they went back and edited all of her episodes and they took out a big section with her and Mindy Kaling because it didn't do well in the test audience. They said it was cringy. The acting was cringy. This is why it's going to be such a train wreck. I really do hope that a university who teaches business goes after Meghan Markle's business launches as a one-on-one and what not to do. Literally a case study on how not to launch a business, on how not to get a trademark. And I was listening to some news organization and they were like, well, it's normal. It's normal to have setbacks. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's not normal for the amount of setbacks that this woman has had. The lack of research, that if we can all get to Google in 5 minutes and find out all the shit we found out, no, ma'am, it's not normal. That there's a Chinese company called As Ever that produces clothing to H&M, that there's an As Ever New York City that does clothing. She was denied clothing on her trademark. She can't sell aprons that might be considered clothing. The fact there was an As Ever photography, like, oh my goodness, just the list goes on and on. And the American Riviera Orchard was such a major F up. Y'all, that was a train wreck. On a worldwide stage, she rushed it to kind of show off to the world, look at what I'm doing. And we saw, and we're like, you should not. She did it again with As Ever. She rushed it. And it was a mess with her landing pages down and then up. It's a disaster. Absolute disaster. Her whole 2025 has been a disaster, let's just say. But her returning to Instagram, I always thought that was a good idea. And now I'm like, oh, Lord. I mean, it's good for content, but I don't think it's helping her. And I do find it interesting how no celebrities are coming out and speaking on her behalf. No celebrities, except for people like Mindy Kaling and her other friend, Abigail Spencer, because they're in the show. But nobody else is coming out, as far as I know, and talking about how they're excited about the show. Anyone hear any of that? Missy Lulu says, I mean, Keanu Reeves' girlfriend, Alexandra, just launched a wine called Love. It was a beautiful launch. She makes it look so easy. I absolutely love Keanu Reeves. He is my Hollywood crush. And I love the fact he's dating a woman who's age appropriate. And she looks exactly like Helen Mirren. But I think she's beautiful and I love them together. And I'm very happy for them. I'll have to check out her wine. That is for sure. Carol says, Meghan is the most incompetent business woman. Can the universities do a class on how to not launch a business? Exactly. Yeah, I literally, like I told you, I do have a background in it, and I'm astonished, really astonished. Old fashioned dream says, no, he's my Hollywood crush. Okay. Yeah, I do like Prince William, Keanu Reeves, and I'm also trying to think of who else do I like. There isn't really a lot of actors that I like nowadays. Let me know who is your Hollywood crush. Back in the day, I loved Andy Gibb. It was so sad when he passed. Missy says, does anyone remember when Catherine and William went to Hollywood for the BAFTA? The whole of Hollywood came out for them. Gia catered their lunch. They were all over the papers. Yes, they looked so stunning. I love that dress that she wore. They look like Hollywood elite. I mean, all of Hollywood stood at attention and were falling over themselves to be with William and Catherine. They would never for Harry and Meghan. Never. They do not hold that clout at all. Kevin Costner. Okay, he's good looking. Russell Crowe and Gladiator. Keanu Reeves had such a tragic life despite his success. Charlton Heston. Okay, he was really hot when he was playing in Moses. Remember that? Was it Moses? And Yul Brynner. Don't laugh. But I think Yul Brynner, when he was in The King and I, was hot. And he was also the Pharaoh in the Ten Commandments. That was the movie, The Ten Commandments. He was the Pharaoh. I always thought he was a good, very sexy man. And I liked him in The King and I. I thought that was also very good. Yeah, I think so. Henry Cavill. Yes, my bestie loves her some Henry Cavill. But see, to me, Christopher Reeve will always be my Superman. He was a good-looking man. Christopher Reeve was a gorgeous man. His son is also very good-looking. And I did watch Jane Seymour. Oh, talk about a beautiful woman. Gorgeous. And I believe it was the 30th anniversary of Somewhere in Time. Another classic y'all have to watch, Somewhere in Time. And she said they had a little romance on the set, but they were friends for life. What happened to him was so sad. Christopher Reeve, oh, he'll always be my Superman. Theo James, yes, girlfriend. He played, was it Peruk in Downton Abbey? Theo James. Yes, he's a very good looking man. Telly Savalas. Okay, got a little Kojak going on in here. The Ten Commandments. Yul Brynner was, yes, he was, wasn't he? I mean, there's something about the bad guy, the powerful man that's real sexy. I think that's why people have a crush on H.D. Tudor. It's a sexy voice and he's the bad boy. But yes, people have a thing for it. But yes, Yul Brynner was hot. And congratulations. Someone said they were married for 37 years. Congratulations. Deborah Kerr, yes, and Yul Brynner. Oh, I love Somewhere in Time. Yeah, I think it was like the 30th anniversary, guys, or the 25th anniversary. I love that movie. I think I might have to watch it. Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson was really hot. He was, yes. That is for sure. Mark Harmon. And someone said Andy Gibbs was with Victoria. That's right. I remember that. Andy Gibbs dated Victoria Principal. She left him because he wouldn't. Nah, very sad. I think there's only one BG left now. Barry Gibb. Yeah. Teresa E. Someone's been married 36 years. Congratulations. Yeah, I think it's great when people are able to find someone. Alec Baldwin. You know, I used to think Alec Baldwin was really hot back in the day when he was married to Kim Basinger, and she was a beautiful woman. When he was married to Kim Basinger and when he starred in Beetlejuice. Wasn't he the husband in Beetlejuice to Gina Davis? He was very good looking, but now, oh Lord, I cannot stand him. And his wife, Hilaria. How do you say cucumber? Oh my God. And I actually, has anyone watched The Baldwins? I actually kind of want to watch that show. It looks like a train wreck. They have 7 children. 7. And he's like in his mid to late 60s, y'all. Not to be mean, but 7 really young children. That's a lot of babies. So that's why they're doing reality because they got to pay the rent. You know what I mean? He had that lawsuit, and I think didn't he have to pay money? Oh my goodness. Harrison Ford has shingles. Sorry. It will not be presenting at the Oscars tomorrow. Oh, that sucks. Oh, I didn't know that. I do love me some Harrison Ford. Again, Indiana Jones, Solo, Star Wars. He was hot. Very hot. Can't possibly watch Alec Baldwin and hilarious. Yeah. Oh, he's another example of a celebrity that made people not like him. You know what I mean? We found out who he was, like the same with Jada Pinkett Smith, Amber Heard, and Alec Baldwin has just ruined himself, in my opinion. And I wasn't laughing at Harrison Ford having shingles, y'all. I feel so bad for him. That's awful. I don't know what that's about. Sandition, Jane wasn't available. Billy D. Williams, yes. Okay, you're a boomer. Hi, Neek. It's 47 years of marriage. Congratulations. 34 years, 38 years of marriage here. Wow. Congratulations. Yeah, I think it's great. I like Daniel Baldwin, very down to earth. He has a YouTube channel. Okay. Now, is Daniel's not the father of the girl who's married to Justin Bieber? I think that's Steven, right? That might be Steven. I always get some of the Baldwin brothers mixed up. Brian from the Backstreet Boys. Okay. I was never really into like the Backstreet Boys or NSYNC. Yeah, I guess they were a little bit after my time. Yeah. Rumors that she's going to present at the Oscars. Yeah, we'll find out. It's on tomorrow. He's the uncle. Okay. Okay. Um, Steve is Haley's dad. Yeah. New Kids on the Block. I used to like Marky Mark. I always thought he was kind of good looking out of the Marky brothers. He did those underwear commercials. Yeah, I used to like Antonio Sabato Jr. when he was in the Janet Jackson music video. I thought he was really, really hot. That is for sure. Wow. Well, guys, we've been on for almost 2 hours. Wow. Did not realize we've been on for 2 hours. So, and Robert Redford, yes, he's still around too. He's very hot as well. So, any final comments or questions or anything you want to ask? William Baldwin is married to China Phillips. She's not well mentally, a real scatterbrain, but I did like her in Wilson Phillips. And her mom, Michelle Phillips, used to star on Knots Landing. I used to watch her on Knots Landing. Daniel Baldwin, that's a heavy hitter. And Hunt for Red October, Paul Newman. Paul Newman has really good salad dressing. I used to buy his salad dressing all the time. That is for sure. So we're going to wrap this up, guys. We got about 5 minutes. So if there are any comments or questions for me or for the royals that you want to ask or talk about, please put it in the comments all down below. Koala says, I heard it was has as Megs wasn't invited. It always seems to be that way, that they definitely want Harry. Good night, Kareem. Thank you. And thank you so much. I will see my dad tomorrow, so I will give him your best, your wishes. Oh, thank you, Lizzie, for moderating. I appreciate that. Good night, everyone. I'm going to bid y'all adieu. I'm going to go make myself some popcorn and go put in a movie. Go watch something on Tubi. See if I can find something interesting to watch. But thank y'all so much for stopping by my live. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to get better at doing these. Thank you, Kareem. I'm so sorry for your father's loss. Goodbye, chapters. Take care. Thank y'all. Yes, thank you so much, Lizzie, and we'll be in touch. Good night, everyone, and hopefully I'll have a video out for you either tomorrow or on Monday. Bye, everybody.